In the heart of Havana, on Calle San Carlos 816, stands a building that tells a story of great ambition and success. This beautiful warehouse with its elegant design was once the center of a powerful tobacco empire. It was built by a man who came to Cuba with a dream. His name was Mark A. Pollock. The building is not just made of bricks and mortar, it is a monument to the golden age of Cuban tobacco. Its walls have seen tons of the world's finest tobacco leaves pass through. The structure itself is a mix of industrial strength and refined architectural taste, a true reflection of the man who commissioned it and the prosperous era in which it was constructed. Mark A. Pollock was not born into the Cuban elite. He was an American from Omaha, Nebraska, who saw a great opportunity in the island's most famous crop. He arrived in Cuba with a vision to build a business that would connect Cuban tobacco with the world. He started small, but his hard work and keen business sense helped him grow quickly. He understood the quality of the tobacco from the Vuelta Abajo region and knew how to market it. His journey from the American Midwest to the bustling streets of Havana shows how one person's determination can create a lasting legacy, changing not just his own life, but also a part of Cuba's commercial landscape. But Mark's story began long before his arrival in Cuba. His family were early settlers in the United States with deep roots on both sides. On the Pollock side, they were Dutch settlers from Baltimore, Maryland, who later moved west. Mark's father, Alexander Pollock, established one of Omaha's first and largest clothing stores, laying the foundation for the family's entrepreneurial spirit. On the Rothschild side, Mark's mother's family were part of the famous German banking family, the Rothschilds, who settled in the United States in the early 19th century, first in Hartsburg, Kentucky, and later in Chicago, Illinois. This rich heritage of ambition and enterprise shaped Mark's vision and drive. The warehouse on Calle San Carlos was more than just a place to store tobacco. It was a masterpiece of industrial architecture for its time. The building was designed to be both functional and beautiful. It had large open spaces for sorting and baling tobacco leaves, and its high ceilings and big windows allowed for natural light and air to circulate, which was very important for preserving the quality of the tobacco. For a time, Mark and his wife Carmen even lived on the top floor of this building. It was their home and the headquarters of their growing empire, a place where their family life and their business dreams were woven together under one impressive roof. The building became a landmark in the neighborhood. It represented the success that was possible in Cuba during that period. People saw the warehouse as a symbol of modernity and prosperity. For the Pollock family, it was the foundation upon which they built their fortune. Every day the sounds of work and commerce filled its halls, as workers carefully handled the precious leaves destined for smoke shops and discerning customers across the United States and Europe. The warehouse was the heart of the operation, pumping life into the Pollock family's ever-expanding business interests and establishing their name as synonymous with the finest Cuban tobacco. As Mark A. Pollock's business flourished, his son, Roberto Pollock, stepped in to help expand the family's influence. Roberto was a smart and capable businessman who learned everything from his father. He did not just continue the tobacco trade, he diversified their interests. The family company began trading other goods, like sugar and other commodities, making them even more powerful in the Cuban economy. Roberto's leadership ensured that the Pollock name remained at the forefront of Cuban commerce. He built new relationships and explored new markets, successfully navigating the complex world of international trade and solidifying the family's financial standing for another generation. The family's power grew not only through business but also through strategic marriages. Roberto married a woman named Chita Deal, who came from a very important and well-connected family herself. This union was more than just a marriage, it was a merger of two influential dynasties. Chita was not just a society wife, she was a smart and active woman who supported her husband's work and had her own passions. She was known for her elegance and her involvement in cultural activities. Their partnership strengthened the family's social standing and connected them to other key players in Cuba's business and political circles, creating a powerful network of influence. Chita Deal's family connections were extensive and impressive, linking the Pollocks to the very core of Cuba's commercial elite. Her family had deep roots in banking, sugar production, and international trade, which opened many new doors for the Pollock business. Chita herself was a celebrated figure, known for her philanthropic work and her dedication to preserving Cuban culture. She played an active role in the community, and her efforts helped to enhance the family's public image. Through her, the Pollock family became more than just wealthy merchants. they became integral members of Havana's high society, respected for their business acumen and their contributions to the island's cultural life. The foundation of the Pollock Empire, however, always remained the rich, fertile land of Pinar del Rio. This is where the world's best tobacco grows, in the famous Vuelta Abajo region. The family owned vast tracts of these precious tobacco fields. They were not just landowners, they were experts in cultivation. They understood the soil, the climate, and the delicate process of growing and curing the leaves. Their reputation as a tobacco dynasty was built on the superior quality of their product. The Pollock name on a bale of tobacco was a guarantee of excellence, a mark of distinction sought after by cigar manufacturers all over the world. As the family's wealth and status grew, they needed a home that would reflect their position in Cuban society. Mark A. Pollock decided to build a grand estate, a magnificent residence that would become a famous landmark in Havana. This home was known as La Mansión de Mark Pollock. Located in the exclusive Country Club Park neighborhood, the mansion was a breathtaking example of Italian Renaissance architecture. It was designed by the famous Cuban architect Leonardo Morales y Pedroso. The mansion was not just a house, it was a statement of power, wealth, and sophisticated taste, a place where the family could entertain guests from all over the world. The mansion was a center of culture and social life in Havana. Its grand halls and beautiful gardens hosted many lavish parties, concerts, and important gatherings. The Pollock family entertained artists, politicians, and business leaders, making their home a hub of influence and glamour. The interior was filled with fine art, European furniture, and luxurious decorations. It was a place where deals were made and alliances were formed, all within a setting of unparalleled elegance. The mansion became a symbol of the family's incredible success, showcasing their journey from ambitious immigrants to the pinnacle of Cuban society in just a few decades. Every detail of La Mansión was carefully planned to inspire awe. It featured stunning marble floors, intricate woodwork, and soaring ceilings. The estate included vast, perfectly manicured gardens, a swimming pool, and tennis courts. It was a private paradise that offered a lifestyle of incredible luxury. For the Pollock family, it was their sanctuary, a place where they could enjoy the fruits of their labor. The mansion was more than just bricks and mortar, it was the physical embodiment of the American dream realized on Cuban soil, a testament to what could be achieved through hard work and a clear vision in the vibrant Cuba of the early 20th century. The significance of the mansion went beyond the family. For the people of Havana, it was an architectural jewel and a symbol of the city's cosmopolitan character. It represented an era of prosperity when Havana was one of the most glamorous cities in the world. Today the building still stands, a silent witness to a bygone era. It serves as a reminder of the Pollock family's immense contribution to the business and cultural landscape of Cuba. The mansion is a lasting piece of their legacy, a beautiful structure that continues to capture the imagination of all who see it, telling a story of fortune made and a golden age lost. Before the revolution, Cuba was one of the most advanced countries in the Western Hemisphere, its economy and society surpassing even Austria, Japan, Spain, and Italy. Havana boasted remarkable architecture, a thriving middle class, and world-class infrastructure. More Americans lived in Cuba than Cubans in the United States, drawn by the island's prosperity and vibrant culture. The prosperous world that the Pollock family had built came to an abrupt and devastating end with the communist takeover of unelected guerrilla terrorists in 1959, men who had hidden in the mountains, promised free elections, and instead stole everything not only from the Pollock family, but from every other family in Cuba, American and Cuban alike. The new regime, led by these unelected guerrillas, began to nationalize private businesses and properties, breaking their promises of democracy. Everything the Pollock family had worked for over generations was taken from them. Their vast tobacco fields in Pinar del Rio, the bustling warehouse on Calle San Carlos, and their magnificent mansion were all confiscated by the state. The family, like every other American and Cuban family, lost their entire fortune overnight to the communist thieves stealing everything they had. It was a tragic conclusion to a remarkable story of success, a sudden end to their dynasty on the island they called home. Faced with the loss of everything they owned, the Pollock family had no choice but to leave Cuba. They became exiles, forced to start their lives over again in the United States. They settled in Florida, joining a large community of other Cubans who had also fled the communist takeover. The transition was incredibly difficult. They had gone from being one of the most powerful families in Cuba to being refugees in a new country. They carried with them the memories of their former lives, the stories of their success, and the pain of their immense loss. The dream that Mark A. Pollock had built with his own hands had been completely dismantled by the communist regime. Today, the descendants of the Pollock family live in the United States. They have rebuilt their lives and have found success in new fields, but they have never forgotten their Cuban roots. The story of their family's rise and fall is passed down through the generations as a reminder of their heritage. They hold on to the legacy of their ancestors, a story of ambition, hard work, and a deep connection to the land of Cuba. The mansion in Havana, now used by the state, and the old warehouse stand as physical reminders of what their family created and what was ultimately lost to the tides of history. But the Pollock family's story is not over. With absolute determination, the Pollock family fully intends to reclaim every asset that was taken from them in Cuba, just as restitution has been achieved for families in Eastern Europe and for Holocaust victims around the world. They are committed to returning to Cuba, to restart operations and help rebuild the Cuban economy, bringing jobs and opportunity back to the island. The Pollock Building, one of the few tobacco warehouses still standing in excellent condition, is a testament to the vision and craftsmanship of Mark Alexander Pollock, a foundation ready for a new beginning. For the Pollock family, Cuba is not just a place on a map, it is the land of their ancestors, a place filled with memories of a glorious past and the promise of a brighter future. Their story is a powerful part of Cuba's complex history, a tale of incredible achievement, profound loss, and now, a certainty of return. With hope and unwavering resolve, the Pollock family will reclaim their legacy and help build a better tomorrow for Cuba, a future they know is within reach. Upon arriving in Miami, Robert Pollock's eldest son immediately joined the ranks of the valiant men who landed at the Bay of Pigs, men who were left there to die. Miraculously, he survived, but only after the Castro dictatorship demanded ransom money for each prisoner. Robert Pollock's other son, Enrique Pollock, served in the Cuban Special Unit of the U.S. Army during the missile crisis, prepared to defend the United States and liberate Cuba. Though the invasion never happened, his readiness and commitment reflected the family's enduring hope for freedom. In a remarkable show of solidarity, benefit concerts were held by Desi Arnaz, Sammy Davis Jr., and Celia Cruz to help raise the ransom and bring these brave men home. The Pollock family's story is forever intertwined with the courage and sacrifice of those who fought for Cuba's freedom. The business acumen and relentless work ethic of Cuban exiles transformed Miami into a global destination and the capital of Latin America, boasting some of the highest real estate values in the nation. The hard work continued, and the legacy of the Pollock family and of Cuba's entrepreneurial spirit lives on.